Now, it's the Americans who are crossing the Mexican border, looking for better living conditions, affordable housing, and lower gas prices. With each passing month, living expenses hit new record highs, and thousands of people out there are doing everything they can to escape the oppressive inflation that
Kal Ha, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Rakakadash, double honors of teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers out there that put into the truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to you brothers and sisters that are tuning in, Shalom. Today we're going to go into what you saw in the beginning of the screen here. And that was in regards to that there's a great exodus that's going from Great Babylon, America, and they're moving over to Mexico, okay, where Issachar is trying to escape the judgment that's going to be coming here on this wicked kingdom. Now, let's go into the book of Revelation 6 and 6. I'm gonna scroll through this video I put together here, and we're gonna go and take a look at this because we're gonna see that there is a lot of problem that's associated with this. And you know, in conclusion, you can't escape the judgment. We're going to go into the scriptures and we're going to talk about this. This is Revelation 6, and starting with verse 5, and it says, "And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hands. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, In measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." Now, we already see now what is a big talk right now. Inflation. Your paycheck is now not worth what it was about a year or two ago. Okay, because why? Everything is going up in prices. Now we know who's behind all of this. Okay, there's 2 levels. Okay, you get the wicked elites that are behind this because they want to bring in that new world order. Okay, order out of chaos. And we also know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is actually really is the one that's really, you know, controlling the puppet master, who's actually the puppet master here on earth, controlling all the other puppets down here, okay, which is these governments and these different nations. Now, you had the brother Zan Ahmad go into, he actually put out several little video clips and news articles in regards to what's going on in Sri Lanka. And also, I think it was the elder apostle Taha too, what's going on in Sri Lanka, what's going on in Ecuador. Okay, and we know what's going on down there. Those economies have completely collapsed, and we've seen this going all across this earth. Now, the people that are going over here, they're leaving Great Babylon, America, mostly fleeing from California, as this video would go on and talk about, and some parts of Texas to go over to Mexico because the American petrodollar is still worth a lot of money, you know, here in these type of countries. Okay, now we're gonna go and take a look here because, and still talking about Revelations. We understand right now minimum wage doesn't work anymore right now. During the time of the pandemic, what did it? They talk about the great quitting or the great resignation. So they started raising up minimum wage to $15 an hour. Well, you know, that's still not doing anything right now because what a gallon of milk is now going up to what, $8, $9. Okay. And in certain states and in certain areas, if you go to parts, especially areas where Jake mostly is, you find that there's a big shortage of food. Okay, along with everything else. Now let's continue to scroll through this here. And it says inflation hits 40-year high, yada, 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 food, gas price. We're hearing the story over and over and over. Now, most of the people that are going over to Mexico. Now, to think about it, if you live here in California or Texas, okay, you have this great, or you always have this great this racism towards Issachar, okay? Now, Issachar tend to do a lot of the work that, you know, other nations don't want to do. Even Judah don't want to do the work that Issachar does, which is the lowest paying jobs. Okay. Now, that's not to say that all Issachar is down in those positions, but most of the time, Issachar come from that hustler, that work, that donkey. Okay, that's a symbol of Issachar is that horse, that donkey. All right, hard work. The mule that works. Okay, and doing all for food, for the crops, for the farming, for just a whole lot of things that keep everybody else to have their some type of life, and especially these Edomites, who think that they're God's gift to this entire earth. Okay, now it's funny that everybody's trying to run over to where Issachar is. Now there's going to become a problem when this goes down. Okay, now you can see here. Okay, if you've been following the news, there's a lot of a lot of the tribe of Israel that's coming over here trying to get over to Great Babylon, America, and they're getting the judgment before they get here. And I'll go on to tomorrow when I do my video, Friday Face Against Esau. I'll talk about that news feed that come out with those 63 jakes that died, in the back of a tractor trailer. But today we're going to go into this. So it says number of Americans want to leave the U.S. So they're looking into these numbers, okay, and they're seeking to leave America for what? Better life. Here's why I'm leaving. And they would go on. Mexico City and pitfalls of becoming a remote work destination. Okay, now I'm going to keep it paused there for a second. Let's go into, this is the book of Jeremiah. All right, because we feel like, a lot of these Edomites, they go to church, we know that the, Edomite pastors and them wicked jakes out there that are, collecting their money from Esau to preach nonsense. So they don't even preach. Actually, they just walk with the Bible in hand and just talk with their ass. But, these Edomites, they probably might have heard this. Jeremiah 51:6, and it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon. Now, if you ask any average Edomite, or most of the Edomites, with a little bit of education, whatever, hey, what is Babylon and what they consider Great Babylon? A lot of them will come and tell you they believe Babylon is America. Believe it or not, at least half. Okay? So they understand that America there's something wrong here. And it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, which is wickedness. For this is the time of the Lord's Yahweh Shemashai vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. What is that recompense? Okay. I brought it up many times with the poster there, which shows the recompense for all the wickedness of this place. This place promotes sodomy, okay, bestiality, okay, blasphemy, okay, calling themselves the Mosai, Yahushai, Mashiach, and us, okay, stolen identity. What else? Okay, and not to mention the centuries of abuse and persecution that they've delivered on to the Hebrew Israelites, okay, the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, okay? So that's Great Babylon that's going to get that. Now, when it's talking about flee out of the midst of Babylon for us, and concerning with us, okay, as we're going to go into this, okay, that's talking about the iniquity of their sins, not partaking into the sins inside here. There's no way you can run from the judgment from Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay? If that was the case, we all would have gotten up and gone someplace else, okay? But there's no place. You cannot escape the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is the book of Proverbs. Okay, let's take a look at it. It said, because this is what they're doing. Proverbs 28:1, it says, the wicked flee when no man pursue, but the righteous are bold as lion. Who are the righteous? That's the 1/3, hopefully that. Okay, the man you see going out here right now doing the work on the highways and the byways, okay, which includes online, who are working for Yahweh Shai Mashiach, okay, who is telling these wicked people that this judgment is going to hit this place, and also this is being spread across the earth through via the internet. Okay, so these other nations understand there's a reason why you're starving. There's a reason why Ecuador is in the situation. It says Sri Lanka, okay, parts of Europe, Africa. Okay, this is going to be a global thing. This is not just going to be just an American thing, but America, the way America, Great Babylon is going to go down, is going to be one to remember in the history. Okay, for generations to come. Okay, now take a look at this here on the screen. It says Mexico City and the pitfalls of becoming a remote work destination. Here's a pitfall. Okay, and this is a sickening thing when you think about it here. These Edomites, okay, they're the parasite. That's why I call them the parasite of the earth, because see, they're like a disease. It doesn't matter. As soon as you clean them, you clean the spot off, there's just another virus that come there. They're like viruses. Okay, so they're going there. The city has become a remote work playground for expats, which means what? They're going to bring all their filths over there. Okay. Now we know down in Chicago they tend to worship, the Virgin Mary and the Caesar Borgia and all that stuff like that. Okay, but we have some of the hopefully elect that are down there, some of the elect of Israel out there too. Meanwhile, rising house pricing and inflation have made it more unaffordable for locals. That's exactly what you see happening in Texas, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and a lot of these other states where the people that were living there locally, which would be mostly Jakes living in these type of states, okay, cannot now afford housing. That's why the rent has gone up, by 50%. The houses are triple in prices. Why? These Edomites who always had job and always had, the abundance of Great Babylon America are now taking their FRNs and going there and pricing people out of the living. And so this is now becoming a problem in Mexico right now, because what? These Edomites are going down there, including certain Jakes going down there too. And now the locals can't afford anything down there because these Edomites can bask inside there. Look at that. Look at this crap. All right. In the meantime, the Issachars down there is like struggling to get bread and, doing whatever they can out there. Take it, thousands flee south border to escape crippling cost of living under Biden and Governor Newsom. See, these people, they don't stand up to their government. Okay. We're not going to see, Ezra's 15, okay, coming out, verse 19 coming out. We know where they're going to start, going up against the government. We're not going to see that right now, okay? It's going to get to a pinnacle point because there's going to be a lot of those that's going to remain here. They're not going to go. But here are these ones here who are the wicked, who are going, trying to escape when no man pursuing. Nobody's pursuing them, okay? Take a look at this, and mostly it's California that they're going out here, cheaper living in Mexico, okay? Now, read this. It says, certain neighborhoods are now becoming too expensive for Mexican citizens to live in because most of the time, people that are actually buying the property developments are being able to do so because they either make money in U.S. dollars or because they're working remotely, said Ariel Ruiz Soto, a policy analyst at the Migration Policy Institute. Now, what do you think this is going to cause? This is going to cause a problem down there, okay? See, because you're going to be the poor Issachar right down there, and you see all these doggone gringos coming down there, okay? And look at them. They're enjoying themselves, including ones that will look like you too. Because see, they're saving that money and they're bringing that FRN note down there. Now let's go into the book, and we're going to continue on here. This is the book of Ezekiel 35 and verse 6. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, which is talking about us. Okay. We never got back on our feet. Okay. This is true. The reason why we're still alive right now, the reason why I can sit down and do this video is because this is true. The mercy of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. That's all this is. Okay. Oh, Esau had already done away with us. Okay. And it says, in the time that the iniquity had end. Okay. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Said thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So Esau has never hated blood. Now, again, I talked about what? Okay. They're going to go down there. Okay. Showing off their money, basking. Take a look at these. Take a look at that, man. But what do you think is going to happen as the pesos is now cannot compete against the FRN note? Okay, do you think is going to happen? That blood, okay, as I just read about in Ezekiel, is going to start to pursue these people down there. See, this is Issachar. Issachar is looking. Issachar can't pay their bill. Can't compete against this. Issachar can't compete against this. Okay, so these people going down and they think that they are actually pursuing. Okay, they think they're pursuing. Escaping America, the what's going on here in America, okay? Which you could look at inflation as a kind of a sword, because you're going to wind up on the streets, you're going to lose everything that you have, okay? You're going to be in a position where you could be mugged or killed while you're there on the street, or people are going to start, breaking over here into your houses over here because with a sword, which is the modern day gun or whatever else they get. And if you look at the headlines right now, people are beating the crap with each other for just about anything. But let's take a look here, okay? This is what's going on in Ecuador right now, okay? Inflation, this is where it's at. This is going to be coming to America soon. It ain't going to be that kumbaya type of march that, Black Lives Matter, those things that they prop up and, George Soros and those, they pay these actors to go there. No, there's not going to be any acting when it all gets real serious, okay? And if we look right here, hey, America is just all guns. That's all this place has is a sword. Why? That's the blessing of Esau, the Edomite, okay? The sword. And they're going to use those swords, okay? So we understand one thing is that they're going to eventually getting to using this their sword. Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy, because let's talk about Jake right now. Okay, because what we are going to see here, okay, is eventually the locals are going to become in Mexico that these Edomites are running to are going to become like these people here. Okay, they're going to get a taco there, and that's where that blood is going to start to come at them. Okay, because nobody's going to sit down there in Mexico. You get the cartels. Okay, you got the gangs down there. They're going to be looking at this and going, and these people are now going to become target. Okay, these Edomites that are going out there, these Jakes that are going out there, you're now going to become a target for gangs out there as people are looking at you and realize that you are coming with that FRN note. And there's going to be kidnappings, okay, and all kinds of extortion and things that's going on. And that's going to come from the police officers. That's going to come from your government, your local federale, okay, your gangs down there and all of that. This is where you're going to be running from what? As they always say, roughly paraphrasing, you're running from a bear and you run into a lion, okay? Or you put your hands on the wall and a snake bite you. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 45, and this is for you, Jake. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. Jake, you cannot escape. We cannot escape. 2/3 will be put down. That's 2/3 of Israel. It doesn't matter where you go. If they're trying to escape from what is known as South America to come here to Great Babylon, America for better life, you die on the way here. As I would bring that up in the video tomorrow. Okay, if you're trying to come from Africa or these other places like that, you die on the way here. Okay, or you come here and you're going to get that judgment anyway if you're not part of the elect. So this is what we see going on right here, and I just brought this up because I really thought this was very interesting. That people are really kind of under the illusion that somehow they can get past, or escape, judgment from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, but nobody can escape the judgment from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua because why? Who can deliver out of his hand? Okay, roughly paraphrasing here. So, Lord willing, you were edified with this. Stay tuned for my Friday Face Against Esau tomorrow. Please tune in that if you when I upload it. Okay, and I'd like to close out and give all glory and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Rakakadash. Double honor to the teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers that are putting on the truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. Shalom.